I saw them before they saw me. It was a Saturday afternoon, one of those crisp fall days where everything feels sharper. The wind, the colors, your thoughts. I was walking back from the bookstore, coffee in one hand, tote bag bouncing against my hip, when I passed the new wine bar on Market Street. And that's when I saw him. But it wasn't just him. Through the tall glass window, framed by flickering candles and warm golden light, I caught his reflection first. He was laughing, head tilted, eyes crinkling, that familiar curve in his mouth I used to trace with my fingers in the dark. But beside him was her. Not just a her. The her. His ex. The one he swore was barely even a friend anymore. The one he said was messy, unpredictable, still hung up on me. She was leaning in close, her hand casually on his arm like it had never left. Like I didn't exist. My body stopped moving before my brain did. I just stood there, hidden in plain sight, watching them through the reflection, not directly. It was surreal, like spying through a dream. They hadn't noticed me. Not yet. And maybe that's why I didn't walk away. Maybe I wanted to see what they looked like when they thought no one was watching. Maybe I was hoping it would look innocent, like two old friends catching up. Maybe I was hoping to feel relief. But I didn't. Because his reflection was smiling, the way he used to smile at me. And suddenly the glass felt like more than a window. It felt like a wall between what I thought we had, and whatever this was turning into. I didn't go in. I didn't make a scene. I just stood there staring, coffee cooling in my hand, as the warmth drained from my chest. You ever feel like your heart starts sinking before your body even knows why? Like your ribs know a secret before your mind catches up? That's what it felt like. I took a step back, enough to move out of their line of sight, but not so far that I couldn't still see them. I watched as she reached up and brushed something off his shoulder. Her fingers lingered a second too long, and he didn't pull away. He smiled. The same soft smile he gave me when I wore his shirt for the first time. I should have left. I know that. But there's a strange kind of gravity in moments like that. When you realize the person you trusted might have another version of themselves you've never met. A version that only shows up in reflections. We met 9 months ago at a friend's housewarming. He was charming in that subtle, slow burn way, the kind that doesn't hit you all at once but lingers. We started seeing each other quietly, deliberately, like we both knew we were walking into something that could matter. He never rushed me. He listened more than he talked. He remembered the name of my childhood dog, the way I liked my eggs, the exact spot on my back where I carry all my tension. But he never mentioned her more than he had to. Just a vague mention of an ex who still reached out sometimes. It's nothing, he said. She was never really good for me. So why did he look so good with her now? I felt my stomach twist. I wasn't sure if it was anger or heartbreak or something colder, disappointment. Because this wasn't just about a man and a woman in a wine bar. This was about the story he never told me, and the one I was starting to see, one reflection at a time. I told myself I'd walk away. I even turned, took 2 steps toward the street, tried to breathe. But then I saw him reach for her hand. Not in the way friends do, not casually. It was slower, more deliberate. His fingers brushed hers like he was remembering something. And her body reacted. I saw it in the way she leaned forward, as if drawn by something old and unfinished. That was the moment my chest tightened in that specific, nauseating way, where jealousy mixes with disbelief. Where your skin gets too tight, and the air suddenly feels like it's pressing against you instead of filling your lungs. I remembered how he used to reach for me like that. Like his hands didn't know how to be still around my skin. How sometimes he'd touch my wrist for no reason while I was talking, like the connection had to stay physical, even in silence. I hated how my body still ached for that. Hated that I was standing there, heart unraveling, wondering if he was touching her now the way he touched me the night he said he was falling. Slowly, quietly, like it scared him to admit it out loud. The wine bar's glass glowed with golden reflections, like the whole scene was bathed in false warmth. People walked past me, unaware, unconcerned, as I stood there suspended in this slow, surreal betrayal. And then he looked up. Through the reflection. His eyes met mine. Not directly, but through the mirror of that glass. Like we were on opposite sides of a truth neither of us was ready to speak. His face froze. Barely a flicker of recognition. And in that second something passed between us. A pulse, a ripple, something I felt more than saw. Regret? Guilt? Fear? Or something worse, like he wasn't surprised. He didn't move right away. Just held my gaze, or the version of it that bounced off the window's surface, fractured by light and glass and everything we weren't saying. I stood frozen, heart thudding so loud I could feel it in my teeth. And still he didn't flinch. Just stared like he was waiting for me to decide what came next. She turned to look, too curious, slow, and for a moment her face appeared beside his in the reflection. Their images overlapping in that cold pain like a cruel little preview of everything I hadn't wanted to believe. And yet, the way his expression shifted when he saw me, it wasn't arrogance. It wasn't fear. It was something softer. Sadder. Like maybe he didn't mean for me to see this. Like maybe part of him was breaking too. That's the problem with people who know how to hold you gently. They also know exactly how to let go without making a sound. I don't remember crossing the street, but somehow I was standing at the door, hand hovering just inches from the handle. I could see them more clearly now, no reflection. Just real people, real choices, real skin and body language that used to belong to me. My hand trembled. I should have walked away. I knew it, but I burned to ask. I opened the door. The chime above me rang, that delicate, familiar sound that made people glance up, and both of them turned. She looked confused. He looked exposed, and I felt every eye in the room shift toward me like heat. But all I could see was him, and how much he didn't look surprised. Not really. He just whispered my name like a quiet apology, and I swear my body remembered what it felt like when he used to whisper it against my neck in the dark. He stood up slowly, like he knew this moment needed reverence or restraint, or maybe just enough softness to keep the scene from breaking apart completely. His hand dropped from hers, but it didn't matter. I'd already seen what it meant when it was there. The silence was unbearable. The kind that hums behind your ears and makes your skin feel too tight for your bones. The kind where everyone pretends not to watch but watches anyway. He stepped toward me. One step. Then another. Carefully. And I hated how my body responded. Because even in the middle of this mess, I could still feel the echo of his nearness. My skin remembered him before my mind had the chance to scream. I didn't trust my breath not to betray me, to shudder, to catch, to lean in. She was still sitting behind him, arms crossed now. Watching. Calm. He stopped a few feet away. His voice low, meant just for me. Let me explain. I laughed. Just once. But it cracked something in my chest. Explain what exactly? I asked, barely above a whisper. That you lied? That she's not as done as you swore she was? That you couldn't even tell me the truth when it was kissing your arm in public? His jaw tensed. His shoulders dropped. And for a moment he looked like he didn't know whether to beg or bolt. I didn't plan this, he said. She texted she was going through something. I didn't know how to say no. My arms wrapped around myself, as if they could hold me together. But you knew how not to tell me, I said, quieter now. You knew how to keep it a secret. His eyes glistened. That part felt real. But it didn't matter. Because my heart had already started to step back, even if my body hadn't. The worst part wasn't that he was here with her. The worst part was, I still wanted him to reach for me. Even now. He reached out. Fingers hovering like he wasn't sure if I'd let him touch me. And the truth was I didn't know either. Because everything in me still ached for the comfort of his hand. The way it used to find the small of my back without thinking. The way his thumb would brush mine during silence. As if just the contact could say what neither of us dared to. But this wasn't that. This was something cracked, bruised, exposed. I messed up, he whispered. I know I did. But nothing happened. I looked past him at her. She hadn't moved. Just sat there like she already knew how this story ended. Like she was the ghost I had to face to find the truth. You chose not to tell me, I said. And that is something. His hand dropped. That was it. That was the moment the tension snapped. Not in a loud, dramatic way, but in a quiet, empty kind of silence. Like a string pulled too tight for too long. I turned to leave. Not because I wanted to, but because I needed to. As I reached the door, I caught my reflection again in the window. The same glass that had shown me the truth before he did. This time I didn't see him beside me. Just me. Alone. Hurt. But standing. And something about that felt stronger than I expected.